So something like that channel that's behind you, that looks like it's probably an agriculture environment, maybe.
Yeah, that would be in an agricultural setting. That was actually in California. So largemouth, channels and irrigation ditches and things like that, where water needs to be held for a continuous period of time, especially in the rainy months.
So how would they? I don't imagine they'd be pouring concrete into that. So how they would have just they would have just used a
Well, you'd be surprised. Now, the alternative to this channel here was to do concrete.
really.
So they were going to have to form that entire channel with, they wouldn't have to use rebar, but you could. It would be the smarter move for a long-term system. But yeah, they would have to go in there and form everything up, and then they'd have to bring the trucks in and pump all the concrete. It would have taken significantly longer than the option that they went with.
Yeah, I mean, what would it take to do? I don't know how long that channel would be, but like if it's let's say a quarter of a mile, what would it take to do something like that with your system?
Quarter of a mile. Well, just off the top of my head, I would say a good safety factor for site preparation would be 5 to 10 days for that much dirt. If you're starting from zero, if you're just shaping, probably just 5 days. And then for the install of the material, you can average between 13 and 14 rolls per day.
Wow.
And that's if you're cooking. So I mean, that's going to be about 14,000 square feet just right off the bat. So I would say probably 3 to 4 days of install.
Wow. And then
So
con-
under 2 weeks for a full closed system, plus one that you could walk away from and not have to service. That's a pretty good deal.
yeah, and concrete, I mean that same project would be I don't even know roughly what would that be.
I mean, as far as like cost is considered, I mean, concrete's different everywhere, so it's hard to say. It's
Yeah.
hard to say that it's different in every state. All I can tell you is that rock is definitely not cheap. That's where we see this material being used the most, is where rock would normally be used.
Have you gotten a chance to sort of get it into the mining applications, or when was some of those first projects? I know mining is sometimes hard. There's NDAs and all that sort of stuff, but are you able to talk
Yeah.
about some of the applications you actually got to put it in?
So we just got released to actually showcase this case study, which you'll be able to pull up on your
Yeah.
end. And this was a tailings pond here in Arizona. So yeah, as far as releasing the location, I don't even know the location. This is one that Leo did, but
Yeah.
it was a really good. It's an awesome example of how we provided a turnkey solutions for our end users. So our end user was talking about essentially armoring or hard armoring in the picture here, this entire embankment that also was an emergency spillway. And the main options that they had were just concrete, but it was going to take too long and they needed it. They could only have it drained for a certain period of time. So our design team went in and we did an accurate takeoff for them. We showed them how many panels they were going to need. It was roughly 20 working days to do this entire project.
That just seems unbelievable.
Yeah, it was impressive. It definitely was. It was nice that we were able to use all of our added value services in conjunction with just laying the material.
Well, that's what I was going to ask next. Do you install it, or can the op?
So we don't do install. We offer engineering services, design. We actually provide on-site field assistance, which is something that I do for every one of my projects, whether it's one roll or 500 rolls. Leo does that as well. All of our sales staff does too. We go out there to make sure that the material is installed the right way the first time. So we think it's a very easy thing to mitigate. And that's just something that we add. But yeah, it's very user friendly when it comes to install, so we don't have to do any crazy training programs.